What's up, guys? This is AdRobs, and this video is how to set up your OBS to work on your Mac with your Elgato HD or HD60. Let's start with what you need. Software-wise, you're going to need Open Broadcasting software for Mac. The link is in the description. In fact, the whole text of this document is in the description. You're going to need Soundflower. What this does is it captures your desktop audio and allows your game audio to come through to your stream. You do not need this, obviously, but if you want to have game audio, this is how you have to do it. You'll need Elgato software, obviously. You'll need Soundflower bed. This is really an optional one. The reason I include this is because it allows you to use Soundflower the way it was intended. For whatever reason, the versions that came out for El Capitan and Yosemite did not include Soundflower bed, so you'll have to download an older version of Soundflower so that you can have Soundflower bed on your computer. Hardware, you'll need a laptop, you'll need Elgato Hardware, which is just your game capture. You'll need a mini DisplayPort adapter to use the external display method that we're going to talk about. So I guess this is technically optional, but I pretty strongly recommend it. You'll need an Ethernet input. The newer MacBooks do not have a gigabit Ethernet input, so you will need to get a Thunderbolt to gigabit Ethernet adapter. You'll get good speeds out of this, but it is $30. You'll need an external microphone. That's just recommended by me. You'll get better audio quality. You'll need an external camera. Again, recommended just because nobody likes to sit in a stream and the face cam is really a shoulder cam and you can't see the person. So I like having my laptop next to me, so I take a USB camera, I mount it on top of my TV. Problem solved. And a widescreen external display. Again, strongly recommended, not necessarily required. We're going to show you the widescreen external display method first, and then I'll show you how to do it using window capture. Although by experience I recommend widescreen external display, so if we're talking best practices, that's your option. And let's get started with the setup here. I have torn down my OBS entirely and I'm going to set it back up right here on this stream. So here we go. We're going to open OBS. Let's go over OBS settings first. You're going to click settings right here. It opens your preferences. General, pretty straightforward, nothing changing there. Stream, that's where you put your stream key and all that business. Output, little bit here. You want your video bitrate plus your audio bitrate to be as low as it can be without sacrificing quality. So where I got this is 1600 is the lowest you will be able to stream for 720 HD video, and then audio bitrate is 160 because again it was just kind of the standard. So what that means is that right now in megabytes per second, my upload is 1.76 effectively, and my maximum, I'll show you how to do a speed test here. You just go to speedtest.net and you do a speed test on your internet connection, and I'm getting 6 megabytes per second upload speeds. So this is considerably less, which is exactly what you want. You want your recording format to be MP4. It will default as FLV. Your Mac does not know what to do with FLV files, so make sure it is in MP4. Audio, this is all pretty standard, except for desktop audio device, it'll be either disabled or on default. You change that to Soundflower 2 channel, and then this is after you downloaded Soundflower. I'm assuming you did everything in the what you need bucket, and you go to sound, system preferences, sound, and then you switch this to Soundflower 2 channel. And that's basically what this does, is Soundflower tells your audio card to send your audio out to Soundflower 2 channel, and then you can use it as an input in other applications. And again, that'll get you your game audio. I set up my mic in here. Some people do it as a source. I prefer to do it in here, and the reason is because I can get live audio to find out if my mic is working, and I know that all throughout the stream, and that's why I put it in here. Video, hugely important here. This will kill you if you don't do it. Your base canvas resolution should be set to 1280 by 720. Otherwise, your video will be jumpy and weird looking. And your output scaled resolution should be the same. Frames per second, my choice is 30. You could go as far up to 60. I haven't messed with 60 too much because I haven't needed to. So that's your call. I choose to do 30. Obviously, you have to do 30 if you don't have an HD 60, but if you have an HD 60, you could try 60, but you might get some jumpiness or whatever. Like I said, I haven't tried it. But basically, what's really important here is that your base canvas resolution is on 1280 by 720, because that makes this canvas that size, and you'll see why that's important in just a minute. Hotkeys, I have a mute unmute for desktop audio if I want to do that. And then advanced, nothing here is really changed. Okay, so let's get down into the setting up business. I don't think I changed anything, so I'm going to hit no. Let's get down into the setting up business. First of all, you have to create a scene. I usually call my first scene main overlay. And I'm going to first get my Elgato HD 60 up in here. So let's open it. First of all, we open Game Capture HD. It'll pop up right here. Little words on setting here. Your game audio, I keep it at -15 decibels. And then I adjust it from inside of OBS, which I'll show you how to do. You want to make sure that this is not muted. You want to make sure it's like that, not muted, and you want to make sure your preview is turned on. So this is what you want your screen to look like. I'm going to leave it there for just a second in case you have to pause and come back or whatever. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drag it over to the other display, and I'm gonna bring out a camera to kind of show you what we're doing here. So there's that, and what we're going to do is we're going to minimize this. We're going to take this and we're just going to drag it right on over to the other display. Let me pull QuickTime up to make sure I'm showing you guys the right stuff. You'll see it is right here. Hold on, this is frozen, because of course it is. Alright, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you it on the other display here. It'll open up in a second here, and you'll see I have my Elgato dragged over to my external display. And I'm just going to maximize it. So that is what it looks like over on my external display. And we will close out of this. So we've got our external display all set up, and we're going to now start to make the magic happen. We're going to use display capture. Again, if you don't have an external display, this is not how you do it. And you want to fast forward to maybe later in the video when I'm going to show you how to do the other way to do it. But you're going to do a display capture, and then you're going to pick display number 1, or whatever your computer decides to call it. Mine calls it display number 1. And you'll see it's super zoomed in, and that's because the input is in 1080, and we do not want 1080, we want 720. But what's really cool is when you make this smaller, you see it gets sharper. So that helps your stream quality to be better. It helps everybody to be happier. People will smile when they look at you, and everyone will be glad. We got to make this nice and small so that I can see the other side of the red box. Okay, there we go. What you're going to do is you're going to drag this up as the screen changes. You're going to drag this up, and then you're going to make it larger until it completely fills the box. And you can see I messed up there. You want to make sure you have no black space in the top corner, and then you could go off that top corner, and there it is. So you have a full screen there. You see the desktop audio is coming in nice. That's the Soundflower. You can add more, or you could take some away. That's based on your preference. Now we're gonna keep rolling with it here. We're gonna add a. I'm sorry, I'm putting my face cam back up so you guys can see that done. So we're going to add a image, which is going to be our overlay, and we're going to call it overlay. We don't get too creative up in here. And you'll see I have browse, and I'm going to go to my desktop, where I am keeping my overlay. And I don't know if this is my new one or my old one. Okay, this is my new one here. So you take that, you put it in. Overlays, you know, you want to have them made by somebody or something. Don't know where it went. Oh, it's too big. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to like make it a ton smaller. And then you see it's down there. Again, you're dealing with a 720 base resolution. So you'll have to trim everything. You can see I didn't actually perfectly line up the Elgato. That's going to require some fixing in a minute here. But you see now it is good for 720. And let's fix the Elgato while we're here. I want to make sure we have no black space. And there we go. That's good. Okay, so we got the overlay in there. Now let's get a video capture device up in there, and we're going to call this our face cam, and it's probably going to take over the whole thing. We're going to use the USB camera. Again, I recommend this. This does not have to be what you do. We're going to make me much smaller. There I am. Hey. We're going to make me much smaller, and we're going to drag me on down here. And we're going to do something with that in a minute, so don't just, don't let it be. What I like to do is I like to keep it behind my overlay. It creates, those borders are cleaner then. So there is that. So getting that nice and in place. Oh no, my Mac's dying. Okay, so we have that in place, and now we're going to talk about how to sync up, basically, how to use your thing to sync up what is happening here. I'm actually going to end the recording for a second because I want to run up and grab my charger so this doesn't die mid-video. So